so pleased by this turnout on the Tuesday of the week of Thanksgiving. This truly shows the commitment to post-secondary access and attainment, and certainly the commitment across our entire Southern Nevada community as we celebrate this very special moment today. My name is James McCoy. I serve as the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs here at the College of Southern Nevada. I have the honor of serving as a Complete College America Fellow, representing the community college voice, among others, across the nation as we look at really focusing in on post-secondary access, post-secondary attainment, and most importantly, perhaps, closing achievement gaps while we do this work. We have a very select group of very important guests today. I'd like to take a moment and pause and acknowledge each of our special guests. From the city of Las Vegas, Mayor Carolyn Goodman. Chair of the Board of Regents for Nevada, Regent Kevin Page. From the Nevada Board of Regents. Chancellor for the Nevada System of Higher Education, Dr. Thom Reilly. Mr. Clauson, Interim CEO of United Way of Southern Nevada. Mr. Manny Lamarre of our Governor's Office in Owen. Ms. Sarah Ansel, all the way from Indianapolis, Complete College America. Representing the Lumina Foundation from Indianapolis. Nevada State College President, Mr. Bart, Patterson. Provost for UNLV, Dr. Diance. Our very own CSN President, Dr. Frederico Zaragoza. And CSN Student Body President, Mr. Andrew Sear. I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the Pathways Implementation Leadership here in Southern Nevada. With that, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Laurel Pritchard from UNLV, Dr. Tony Shinta from Nevada State College, Ms. Manny Lamarre from Governor's Office, Krista Lava and Renee Davis, both from Nevada System of Higher Education. Leading this fantastic group. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today for one very specific focus. Right now, we know that 54% of the jobs in Nevada absolutely require some form of post-secondary attainment. As far as higher education. We also know right now today about 30% of adults right here in our community have earned such a post-secondary credential. We have an achievement gap here. We have a gap by which we have more jobs for the new Nevada that are coming into our region and our state holistically, and we don't have enough college-educated populace. And when I say college-educated, for the purpose of today's context, it's important to note that college education may mean a master's degree or a doctorate degree. It may mean a bachelor's degree. It may mean a 2-year associate's degree, and it may mean a short-term credential of value, a certificate that is recognized by our local industries. These credentials of value lead to long-term employment, channeled through things like the apprenticeship model, channeled through things like traditional post-secondary transfer, and certainly channeling from a secondary to post-secondary access mission. We know that the majority of our job growth is going to be in middle to high-skill occupations and industries right here in Southern Nevada. In fact, by 2020, 49% of all job openings in Nevada are predicted to be these middle-skill jobs. So it is absolutely critical that we support our labor supply here in Southern Nevada. We've got some big work to do. This work requires significant partnership in our community. And by the turnout today, I think we have received such community support. In fact, we've got 3 main goals today, and we're going to hear from our highest of leaders across this state this morning as we talk about these 3 very specific goals. Number 1, we need to increase access to higher education. Every citizen in our community needs to understand there is a pathway to betterment, and that pathway is through the right fit for higher education. That's number 1. Number 2, we need to decrease attainment gaps for our most underrepresented student populations. And we need to do that with a lens on equity. we're ready for this work. And number 3, we need to increase college completion with credentials of value that are recognized right here in Southern Nevada. And that might mean, again, short-term certificates, 2-year degrees, 4-year degrees, and of course graduate work. So Southern Nevada's focus on post-secondary attainment is obviously represented within our Nevada system of higher education institutions right here in the greater Las Vegas and Henderson area. Each of our Southern Nevada INSHE institutions have adopted several game-changing strategies that have already proven to move the needle not only in college access, but college success. We're not done yet. This work is in its infancy stage, and we recognize that through our data. We recognize that to move the needle significantly in post-secondary access and attainment, that it will take all of us working together from each of our vantage points and each of our levels of expertise to come to the table and roll our sleeves up and do this work together. So we are now focused on these 3 things. The Board of Regents and an INSHE system is focused on these 3 things. The City of Las Vegas is focused on these 3 things. Our community partners through the Leadership Ignited Way of Southern Nevada are focused on these 3 things. The greater Las Vegas area is poised to do this work today, I believe, more than ever before. So with that, the big announcement. Drum roll, please. The Lumina Foundation, which is a higher education, incredible foundation supporting post-secondary access and attainment in this country, has announced Las Vegas and the greater metro region as one of 24 talent hubs in this country. This talent hub designation poises Southern Nevada, and by Lumina Foundation recognizing that we have top-level commitment across our city, who is laser-focused in increasing post-secondary attainment and increasing access and in closing achievement gaps, we know we're poised to do this talent hub work well. We also know that this is building on several years of community conversation around this topic. We are pleased that the Lumina Foundation has recognized Southern Nevada a number of years ago with some planning dollars to get us to the day that we are at today. The idea of Pathways was literally conceptualized a number of years ago, and today we celebrate the official launch of our Pathways work. The Talent Hub focus, and we'll hear from Mr. Bliss here in just a moment from Lumina, is really about raising the nation's overall post-high school attainment to a level of 60% of our working age adults by the year 2025. We've got some work to do. Additionally, the focus on closing attainment gaps on our secondary to post-secondary pipeline, particularly for our 18 to 24-year-olds, is highlighted in this Lumina Talent Hub work. The greater Las Vegas area, in partnership with CSN, the Nevada System of Higher Education, UNLV, Nevada State College, the Governor's Office of Workforce Innovation for a New Nevada, and the United Way of Southern Nevada, stand ready, Lumina, to engage in this Talent Hub work. Let's give a big round of applause to Lumina for being here today. Now that's a lot, but if that weren't enough, we have another national designation to announce this morning. I'm pleased to report that Complete College America, one of the world's premier college access and post-secondary completion organizations, has recognized Las Vegas and the greater metro area as, are you ready for this? A Metro Momentum Pathways designation. Let's give it up. It's very meaningful. I tell you it's meaningful, put it in context. The greater Las Vegas area is one of 3 metro regions recognized by Complete College America and supported by the ECMC Foundation for this work centered around pathways. It's an incredible recognition, and CCA, we stand ready to meet these challenges. This builds on the recognition that Nevada has shown significant commitment to increasing post-secondary attainment, increasing access, and closing equity gaps. From a national lens, both the Lumina Foundation and Complete College America have identified Las Vegas and our greater region as being primed and ready to go in this work. The focus specifically on this particular designation is on our metro region. Here's what we know. Here's what our data tells us. We know that unless each institution of post-secondary work does not, if we don't change the way we operate, we're never going to see dramatic results the way we need to. But we also know that living in a metro region, our students are coming to us with challenges that are outside of the classroom. Our students are coming to us from our cities with all kinds of insecurities, like homelessness, food insecurities, transportation challenges, child care voids. We know that if we're going to move the needle academically, we need to move the needle with amping up our support, and we know the community already is in favor of this because they're out there doing it. As an NSHE body, as institutions within Southern Nevada, we need to rally with our community partners, and this metro designation will help us do that. So Complete College America, we thank you for recognizing Las Vegas as a metro region. I want to take just a moment to describe what this Pathways work is. Could you imagine a world where every student, every potential student, every citizen here in Southern Nevada recognize that they want a better life? And if they were to recognize that college is indeed accessible, no matter who they are, no matter where their people come from, no matter what age they are, no matter their gender, their sexual orientation, their religion, or political affiliation. Imagine that they were to recognize that post-secondary access is available right here in Southern Nevada. And imagine a world, from a pathway standpoint, where we were to ask these very citizens of our community what they want to be when they grow up, so to speak. Be it 40, be it 18, be it 60 years old. This idea of pathways with purpose first is really at the crux of what we're doing here. Bringing students into our institutions in Southern Nevada, doing career exploration that is aligned to the needs of Nevada, providing a job outlook for those needs, for those careers that are accessible here in Nevada, and laying out perhaps some personality assessments and some aptitude tests to determine where our skill sets are within our future students, so we can identify the career path, the aptitude of the student, the academic pathway to reach those goals, and then check this out. Wrap around them with so much support that there's no chance of these students failing. This is the very premise of our Pathways work. We've got some significant work to do academically and institutionally. We've got to relook at the way in which we engage in English and math and reading remediation. So this Pathways work will be laser focused in math and English remediation reform. We've got to shorten the time to degree. We've got to make sure our students have roadmaps to follow, term by term, course by course, semester by semester, so they cannot get off track. And perhaps most importantly, we need to engage our students with human beings in face-to-face context every step of the way. And this Pathways approach, friends, this game-changing strategy has proven to work across the country already, from collaborative institutions, from consortiums, and across entire states. So I am pleased to be able to share and to recognize that Southern Nevada is primed for this work, and to hear more about each of these commitments of all of these partners, I would like to have our guest speakers join us in just a moment. For a little bit of housekeeping, you'll notice there is a pledge commitment to my right and to your left, this pledge poster over here. And what this commitment pledge is going to represent is an all-in attitude across our region, from the highest of leadership. So after each speaker concludes their remarks, if you wouldn't mind coming over here, and there's some markers up here, we'll have you sign your commitment formally, and then we'll introduce the next speaker. Sound good? So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome the mayor of our great city, the city of Las Vegas, Mayor Carolyn Goodman.
$1.2 billion of money came into this community and this state from outside sources for the last election. How about having this gentleman? Boy, did he know what he was talking about. And I'm sure, Dr. Zaragoza, you pay him well. What an eloquent man, and boy, did you have the facts. This is such an exciting time for our entire state, but so particularly for Las Vegas. Everything begins at the beginning for all of us. We need to crawl before we can walk, and walk before we can run. And we do have a population of wonderful potential students for college, higher education. And that's what we in the city are working so hard on with our smart schools and our batteries included, trying to get children ready even just for the Clark County School District and education that we afford here. But as we see them so much wanting to be part of having a greater opportunity in life, it will all happen as we can encourage every child to graduate from high school, stay the course, and then go on for these wonderful opportunities that are available here in the state and in Southern Nevada in particular. And this program and what it's going to be and what it's going to prove to be does take all of us together, the public sector, the private sector, and all of the great educators. But most importantly, it is the touchstone for every single human being that gets started, to help them learn to be independent, to be passionate about what they're doing for themselves, to be responsible for themselves. You know, today we hear so much of everything somebody else's fault. I'm a firm believer and was raised, it starts with you. So all of us in this room, it starts with each one of us taking responsibility for ourselves. There's no greater equalizer in the entire world than a good education, because through that we all have opportunities. And we do know, as James mentioned, this very challenged group of young people and high schoolers and college age and older that really have been sort of left behind in post-high school, post-secondary education, to give them the value, to have the integrity and feel the worth, the self-worth, that their life matters. But it starts with each one of them. And everybody needs a touchstone at some point. And I know this program and everything that's happening here, and knowing so many of you, how much you care. I love this community. I love every single person that's in it, regardless of wherever they are in helping us build a better community. We've had some great challenges in the past years, most specifically in 2017. And we've pulled together. And we know if we work as one peoples together on the right pathway, we have nothing but glory ahead of us. So I am so proud to be here, so thankful to United Way, to all facets of our educational process, to our private sector, the rest of the electeds. We're in this together, every one of us, and we're only as weak as our weakest link. And education is the key to it all. So what's happening here, and I've had the great pleasure of spending some time with Dr. Zaragoza. I must tell you, after watching the football game last night, how many of you saw that last night? Not enough hands. Let me tell you about refereeing last night. I never saw such awful refereeing, and I said to Dr. Zaragoza, how about a course in umpiring and refereeing here? Do you know how many of our young people would love to do that? Some of us are not athletic at all, but they love sports, they love the Golden Knights, they love everything. So, I mean, I have lots of ideas for what we can do, but the most important thing is this is a wonderful time for Nevada, a phenomenal time for education, and a phenomenal time for anybody who comes to live here and chooses Las Vegas or Nevada for a home. And it's a great time. And I look at United Way, and I look at so many of the parts of all of this. Behind me and over here, am I supposed to have a pledge like money? No, wait a minute, I'm going to fix salary. I'll have to go talk to my husband. He always says I've had my hand in his pocket all these years. So, are we looking for a donation? Of course. But anyway, thank you for including us from the city of Las Vegas. We are, I think it was called, and you missed that word, it said City of Las Vegas is one of 24 metropolitan areas in the country to be designated as a talent hub by Lumina Foundation, a talent hub. So they know who and what we are, and we're going to show them that, boy, can we move this needle really far. So thank you all, and thank you for being supportive of this. And who got to bring these beautiful young people? and they're still awake. Mom, yay, Mom. So thank you all. Let's carry this as far as we can, all three parts.
This is a celebratory occasion. We have cameras rolling here for you. Las Vegas is no doubt a center for our talent hub work, right? And to have this designation for our greater area within the Las Vegas community is just absolutely terrific. And to have Mayor Goodman here to help us celebrate this moment, absolutely a winner. Thank you very much. This work would not be possible, of course, without the incredible leadership of our Board of Regents and our Nevada system of higher education. With us here is the chair of our Board of Regents, Regent Kevin Manny.
Thank you, James, and good morning. This partnership involved with the College of Southern Nevada, Nevada State College, UNLV, the City of Las Vegas, United Way of Southern Nevada, is unprecedented and arrives at the right time. Nevada has long trailed the rest of the nation in post-secondary education, attainment, and this must change. Nevada needs to diversify its workforce as technological progress make the skills learned in higher education setting more vital than ever. We need more students to attend college, but more importantly, we need more kids to graduate. These designations will help the Southern Nevada entry institutions offer more opportunities for students and make it easier for them to graduate from college by guiding them through this experience. I want to acknowledge and thank our national partners and founders of this endeavor, the Lumina Foundation, Complete College America, and ECMC Foundation. So on behalf of the Board of Regents of the System of Higher Education, thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you, Chairman Page. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your words of encouragement. We mostly appreciate your vision on behalf of the entire Board of Regents for bringing us to this moment today. Of course, this work would not be done also without the incredible leadership and vision of the Nevada System of Higher Education Chancellor and the staff. Here to represent this message and to speak to how this work ties in with the big 5 goals for entry, Chancellor Reilly.
This really demonstrates how one system, the entire system of higher education, can rally around to address the needs of our citizens in Nevada. I think it's been said before, not everybody needs to go on and get a 4-year degree, but you need something beyond high school. We lag behind nationally. Higher education is the pathway from more middle class. It's the pathway to social mobility. We have to do a better job of increasing access. We have to do a better job of increasing success. So access without success doesn't translate to opportunity. This is what this is all about. It's marshaling all of our systems, our 3 institutions, public, private sector, to figure out ways that we can actually move the needle on higher education. So I'm thrilled. Thank you for our national partners, for our local partners, and for our 3 institutions. Many of our students go from one institution or another. This is the right focus, and this will move the needle in higher education. So thanks for all being part of this, and I'm just thrilled that this is happening. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. We appreciate you. So this next gentleman has been here for just a few short months, but he certainly has shaken the ant farm up here at CSN in such a provocative way. Please help me welcome Dr. Frederico Zaragoza.
Thank you very much for your hard work and your introductory remarks that underscore the importance of today's event. Chancellor Reilly, Mayor Goodman, we will have the CSN Goodman School for Referees. How's that? We're working on it. Chair Page, President Patterson, Dr. Chase, valued partners, colleagues, and guests. Today is indeed a historic day for higher education in Southern Nevada. Today, CSN, NSHE, Nevada State College, UNLV, the City of Las Vegas, United Way and Owen commit to join the Complete College America, the Metro Momentum Pathways, and the Lumina Foundation Talent Hub initiatives. These are the premier higher education performance initiatives in the country. The funding, expertise, and resources that the Lumina and Complete College America will bring to the table are expected to help us to produce, 1, more graduates. Number 2, more students that are academically prepared to successfully transfer to colleges and universities. 3, more graduates and completers that are prepared to enter existing and emerging high-demand careers and occupations. And finally, a delivered student-guided pathway that accelerates time to graduation and student success. CSN is laser-focused and committed to bringing to scale the Complete College America national best practices and the proven game-changing strategies that include 1, finish in 2, because we know that time is the biggest enemy of graduation and student success. Number 2, academic mapping to streamline and calibrate course selection. Number 3, core requisite remediation to accelerate college readiness and degree completion. And 4, a commitment to ensure that all CSN students have access to proactive academic and career advising. This is all part of what we're going to sign on to when we sign on that dotted line. Our partnership with Nevada State College and UNLV will ensure that CSN student pathways are aligned and articulated to appropriate degree majors so that every CSN credit transfers and every CSN credit counts towards a degree. So it's not just our partnership with United Way and Owen will ensure that CSN student pathways are aligned to high-demand occupations, including for appropriate transition to apprenticeship opportunities and to entry certifications that ultimately result in the CSN graduates' ability to attain meaningful employment, but more importantly, also to be able to produce the productive workforce that these growing companies, that these new jobs are producing in the Vegas area. This is really the engine to economic development in this community. Today, CSN in Southern Nevada and the Metro Momentum partners are uniquely positioned to emerge as national higher education leaders, but not as individual institutions. We are a united Southern Nevada community that is committed to a win-win student success initiative and agenda to produce a credentialed, highly skilled workforce that is needed to sustain a stronger, more prosperous, and more diverse regional economy. My friends, thank you, and let the journey begin.
Thank you, Dr. Zaragoza. We're excited for your leadership and your vision here at CSN. Ladies and gentlemen, next, the president of Nevada State College, a man who is all over this community, a very familiar face and friend to CSN and UNLV, of course, President Patterson.
Thanks, James. It's really an honor for Nevada State College to participate with our sister institutions, UNLV and the College of Southern Nevada, and both local and national partners in what is really a historic endeavor. You know, we don't work enough together as sister institutions. We probably should do more of this. So this is also a real opportunity for us to collaborate on such an important issue of student success. If you read some of the headlines, Nevada State College has had really historic growth. We have experienced growth that we're the second fastest growing college in the country. And that comes with its own challenges, and one of those is to refocus on student success. We've been working with Complete College America for a while on different projects, but to give you some sense of the elements of the Complete College America program that can make such a difference, our rates in, for example, students that complete the first year of math have gone up from 12% to 68% in just 4 years. And our rates in English completion in the first year are at 87%. So really dramatic improvements in that area. And when you look at the overall graduation of students, also very impressive. In the 15 to Finish campaign that we started with Complete College America a couple of years ago, we had a 400%, if you can believe, increase in the number of students that went full-time. So the students can do it if they're pushed and challenged, and we figure out the financial pathway to help them there. So the great thing about the Momentum's Pathway project and being involved in that project is that now we're looking at a whole different level. Not only are we collaborating as institutions, we're collaborating with the community, and we're looking at the student more holistically. One of the real challenges for higher education is to address some of these issues that are non-academic. So as we talked about, transportation, homelessness, food insecurity, mental and physical health, childcare. All of these things are critically important to students being successful in college. And this is a real opportunity that Las Vegas has not had before to collaborate together to solve many of those issues. So I couldn't be prouder and honored. I think we're going to celebrate in a very short time consistent and dramatic increases in student success with this project. So let's roll up the sleeves, let's get going.
Great, thank you so much, President Patterson. We appreciate your work. All right, from UNLV, our Executive Vice President and Provost, Dr. Diance.
Thank you. UNLV is proud to be among the 3 Las Vegas academic institutions selected for Complete College America's Metro Momentum Pathways grant. This grant is an important part of expanding game changers in our area, such as encouraging 15 credits per semester, we call 15 to Finish, guided pathways that reduce the number of choices students have to make, laying out a clear path to graduation. Thank you, CSN, all of you, for bringing us to the table and giving us the opportunity to work together. We really do want to be partners here with our NC family. This partnership gives us the opportunity to better align transfer pathways for CSN students that come to us for that next stage in their education. This project will also give us the opportunity to take some of the game changers we've already employed successfully and bring them to scale. 15 to Finish is a great example. Through innovative programs like the UNLV Cares Food Pantry and the Hope Scholars Program, UNLV has been addressing some of the unique challenges, such as food insecurity and homelessness, that some of our students and our surrounding community suffer. The Momentum Pathways project will allow us to collaborate with our NC institutions and community partners such as United Way, the City of Las Vegas, and OWIN to expand those efforts and increase their impact. Working with Complete College America and our Metro partners will help us at UNLV step up our game to enhance our efforts towards student success and increase degree attainment in the state of Nevada. This partnership will help us collectively, and I think that's the key, collectively move the needle to transform the lives and livelihoods of our students, their families, and our community. So thank you for bringing us to the table. UNLV is all in.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chase. We appreciate you as well. From the Governor's Office of Workforce Innovation, it's our Executive Director, Manny Lamarre.
Hello, everyone. So first I want to start off by echoing the points the previous speakers made by thanking everyone that's here, as well as our wonderful partners, particularly at CSN, Nevada State College, UNLV, City of Las Vegas, and the United Way of Southern Nevada. The efforts involved in this partnership will result in meaningful changes. OWIN is pleased to be involved in this wonderful partnership, Particularly, this comes at a right time and creates a sense of urgency. A study by the University of Oxford concluded that 47% of total U.S. employment is at risk of automation. A deeper analysis by the University of Redlands particularly looked at Las Vegas and concluded that about 65% of jobs in Las Vegas could be automated. But on the flip side, when we look at research from the state's Labor Department, we know that by 2024, over 600,000 jobs will be created, and half of those jobs will be new jobs. One of the things that's consistent across the board is that we know that success requires education beyond a high school. We know that if you don't continue your education beyond a high school, whether it's an associate's degree, an industry-recognized credential from a recognized industry, bachelor's, and so on, that you're left out essentially of 90% of the labor market moving forward. So this collaboration and partnership is a reflection of the leadership at their respective organizations and partners in their unwavering success for support for student success. Now, more particularly, Owens is also excited about our commitment to help connect students to work-based learning. We know that success in the labor market requires practical experience. As I've once heard, knowing without doing is like not knowing at all. This is true. Connections to work-based learning, such as apprenticeships, allow students to connect their classroom learning to the real world, earning meaningful skills while also minimizing their debt. So we are fully committed to supporting and engaging in any way possible to ensure students complete and are on track to high-demand careers. A meaningful career pathway gives individuals dignity and uplifts their household and the community. So thank you, Lumina Foundation, Lee College America, ECMC Foundation for your support, and believe in Southern Nevada residents. Your support is consistent with the governor's vision of building a skilled, diverse, and aligned workforce for its 21st century new economy. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you, Manny, for your partnership. I can't think of a better community partner than that of the United Way of Southern Nevada. A centralized hub for this work, no doubt, and certainly the author of our Lumina Foundation application. Without further ado, please help me welcome interim CEO of United Way of Southern Nevada, Mr. Clauson.
So having said that, is Mayor still in the room? Yes. So you touched on this. Before I get started with my remarks regarding United Way and our role, I just want to take a moment and talk about James McCoy. Because in his role, from the moment I met him, he came over to our offices and was part of the presentation. And I know, after this many years in the business community, when I see a leader, somebody that can take us over the finish line, and this guy can. And so your remarks were right on spot, Mayor, and thanks for what you're doing, James. As James mentioned, I am your interim CEO and President for United Way of Southern Nevada, and it's an honor to do so. I just retired in September, and apparently I haven't got retirement figured out yet. So we're pleased to be here with our partners from the Governor's Office, the Southern Nevada Mayor's offices, our national partners, and our institutions within the Nevada system of higher education. Who would you want to hang with other than those folks, right? We are especially thrilled to be involved in this initiative in support of our very own stated goals. That's to increase post-secondary attainment and workforce development in order to meet the demands on the competitive labor market and tackle poverty in Southern Nevada. We are proud, and I'd like to just do a quick shout out to Stevan, Janet, Marisol, and Lori's in the room, the team from United Way, the hardest working folks I've ever come across, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. But we are proud to be engaged in this collaborative effort with committed partners who are deeply invested in the community to showcase and to keep building a dynamic workforce. With our strategic support, we can recognize and capitalize on our partnership wins to strengthen institutions of higher learning and better support our students and their families. When we support our students as they work to earn a degree or certification, we can grow our qualified workforce and lift our most vulnerable residents out of poverty in sustainable, empowering, and transformational ways. Thank you, Lumina Foundation, Kresge Foundation, Complete College of America. You're probably getting tired of hearing this, right? but ECMC Foundation for your support of Southern Nevada and its residents. It means so much. I look forward to seeing all the incredible accomplishments that these organizations can achieve working together. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Kirk. All the way from Indianapolis is our Senior Vice President for Complete College America, who has flown in specifically for this engagement. Please help me welcome Ms. Sarah Ansel.
Well, good morning, everybody. Complete College America is laser focused on improving post-secondary attainment and achieving more equitable outcomes for all of our Americans. We are so excited to be working in partnership with the ECMC Foundation and with all of you here today to not only improve your post-secondary attainment rates, but to also address issues of poverty in the region and ensure greater income mobility for your citizens. It was mentioned Las Vegas is one of three. I want to share with you why Complete College America selected Las Vegas to be one of three metro regions that we're working with on this project. First, these institutions here today, as you've heard already, have made significant progress on CCA game changer strategies. There's a willingness among your institutions, your faculty, and your leaders to do business differently so that students can be served better. We really love the work that has happened here, and we are so excited about further scaling all of those strategies across our campuses. But the second, and equally important, is actually what's played out here today. All the different partners that are at the table committed to this work and to the students. Mayor Goodman, Governor's Office of Workforce Innovation, United Way of Southern Nevada, Nevada System of Higher Education, the Board of Regents, the post-secondary institutions here today. And I want to lend my voice also to the praise that has been given to James McCoy. James was named a CCA Fellow, a personal designation for him. And he was named that because of the work he was able to do on his campus to scale these game changers and just be laser focused on student success. We are thrilled at CCA that James has agreed to take on a broader leadership role within the region and to be your project lead in this Momentum Pathways project. With James at the helm, you're going to get good results. And finally, we're thrilled at CCA that this project has such synergy with the Lumina Talent Hub work. We've long worked with the Lumina Foundation, and we're thrilled that these two pieces are coming together, and we'll make each other more successful for it. So there's been a lot of work underway. So this isn't about starting something new, this is about doubling down. My hope is that this project will help you to take this to scale, all these strategies for all the students who can be served by it, so no one's left behind. My final hope, and perhaps challenge to you as a community, is to galvanize additional partners. Work within your local nonprofit community, your local philanthropies. Bring more people to the table so that you can complement these national investments being made here. But ultimately, what we want is for you to build and sustain momentum to improve your attainment rates and to get the results you want for your students. So thank you so much for your commitment. It's our honor to work with you.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for flying in for the, I think, 18 hours that you're in our great city. But we know we'll welcome you back again. She's been out here already twice, and the engagement with the Complete College America team will continue over the next 18 months in very short order. So again, thank you so much, Sarah. All the way from Michigan, also specifically here for this event, is Ryan Willis. Ryan is our Lumina Foundation representative, here to share a few words. Ryan.
Thank you, James. I do come from Michigan. Ryan Bliss, the Deputy Director for Community and Partner Mobilization at the Michigan College Access Network. I'm here today in my role representing the Lumina Talent Hub leadership team. Lumina Talent Hub leadership team made up of multiple organizations, including the primary funders, the Lumina Foundation and the Kresge Foundation. Lumina Foundation is the largest private funder, specifically laser-focused on post-secondary attainment in the entire country. So we've heard a lot this morning about you being designated a talent hub, how exciting that is, but what the heck is a talent hub? We haven't really told you what that means. Well, Talent Hub is a term coined by Jamie Marasotis, the president of the Lumina Foundation, in his book, America Needs Talent. Talent Hubs are partnerships of organizations and individuals who are committed to developing talent in a region by increasing post-secondary attainment, with particular focus on equity and closing those gaps. This is done in a very student-centered manner rather than in an institution-centered manner. This is a designation. You've heard that said over and over today. This is a designation, not a grant. That means while there is a little bit of funding coming from Lumina and Kresge Foundations to support your work, it really is a designation on the work that you've already been doing, as Sarah mentioned previously. Sort of the good housekeeping seal of approval for post-secondary attainment. So hopefully with your great work moving forward, you'll be able to keep that designation and grow it. This is all in support of Goal 2025, increasing the post-secondary attainment rate of the country to 60% by the year 2025, all driven by labor force requirements that you've heard about earlier today as well, about increasing access, decreasing attainment gaps, and increasing completion. Lumina Foundation, us in Michigan, at the Michigan College Access Network, we're ready to provide technical support to you, finances, and other support, and frankly, attention on the great work that you're doing, like you're all paying attention today, and focus on the great partners. It's really easy to throw a bunch of logos up on a PowerPoint slide and put it in a room. It's really hard to get to a point where institutional leaders are willing to work together. This is really a culmination of years of work that you're building upon. Las Vegas is already well known nationally and internationally. Hopefully this designation should continue that reputation. Thank you, so happy to be here, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Brian, for your kind words of our city, of our talent hub, and really providing a framework and representing the voice of the Lumina Foundation. We could not be more pleased to work with both Lumina Foundation and Complete College America. And oftentimes when we engage in this sort of work, it becomes a challenge, right? When we've got two significant national partners at center stage vying for the partnership. And what this moment has clearly indicated is that with the Lumina Foundation and Complete College America and INSHE and the Board of Regents and United Way of Southern Nevada and the Governor's Office and the great city of Las Vegas all working together in unison, we are primed for even greater great. We are primed for amazing, amazing work. So I would like to conclude. I promise I'd keep it at an hour, and we are about there. We are going to stick around, all of our partners, as long as we can to answer any questions from the media and the press. I'd like to thank our community, our press, our members of the media for being here today and for helping us tell this story throughout the community. America, Lumina, Las Vegas, and the greater area, we're all in. Thank you, everybody.